Let's talk about the health insurance tax forms that arrive every year: 1095A, 1095B, and 1095C. If you've received official-looking envelopes in January or February, you're not alone. These forms are a standard part of tax season for millions of Americans. They look official, feel important, and often end up in a pile. But before you set them aside, it's important to understand what they mean for you. These forms are your proof that you had health insurance. They are required documentation for your tax filing. The IRS requires this proof. If you don't have it, or if the information is incorrect, you could face delays, questions, or penalties. Missing or incorrect forms can cause problems, extra paperwork, or a smaller refund. These forms are required because of the Affordable Care Act, which changed how health insurance and taxes work together. Since 2014, most people must provide proof of coverage. The government uses these forms to track who has coverage, who is offering coverage, and who is receiving assistance. You may receive more than one form if you change jobs or insurance plans during the year. These forms show whether you had health insurance coverage for the year. The information on these forms can affect your tax refund or what you owe. If you received help paying for insurance, the numbers on these forms determine if you received the correct amount. The IRS checks your information against what your insurer or employer reports. If there is a mismatch, you may receive a letter requesting more details, or your refund could be delayed. Understanding these forms helps you avoid tax problems. It's important to make sure your information is accurate and complete. Each form has a specific purpose. Knowing which one you have makes the process easier. Here's what you need to know: what these forms are, why you received one, and what to do with it. We'll cover the basics step by step. This process is necessary. Spending a few minutes now can save you time and frustration later. With the right information, you can handle these forms and move on with your life. Let's get started and make this tax season less stressful. Gather your forms and let's review them together. Understanding what to look for makes the process easier. Here's what you need to know to manage your health insurance paperwork and your taxes. First up, Form 1095A. You receive this form if you purchased health insurance through the health insurance marketplace, such as healthcare.gov or your state's exchange. It lists who was covered, for which months, and how much you paid in premiums. It also shows the Advanced Premium Tax Credit, or APTC, which is the government subsidy that helped pay your premiums. This form is sent to you directly from the marketplace, usually by early February. When you get it, check the names, coverage months, and dollar amounts for accuracy. If you find any mistakes, contact the marketplace as soon as possible. You need this form to complete Form 8962, which reconciles the subsidy you received with what you actually qualified for. Do not file your taxes without this form. The numbers on this form directly affect your refund or what you owe. If you received APTC, completing this step is required. Keep this form in a safe place. This form is necessary for accurate tax filing if you use the marketplace. Let's move on. Next, Form 1095B. This is your proof of health coverage if you got insurance directly from a company, Medicare, Medicaid, or CHIP. It's a certificate showing who was covered and for which months. You'll get it from your insurer or government agency, usually by early February. Double-check the names and months for accuracy. If there's a mistake, contact the sender for a correction. For most people, you don't need to enter anything from this form on your federal tax return. Keep it with your records. Some states may still require proof of coverage. Store it in a safe place in case you need it later. That's all there is to 1095B. Now, Form 1095C. You received this form if you worked for a company with 50 or more full-time employees. It shows whether your employer offered you health insurance, what it cost, and if it met government standards. This form is sent by your employer, usually by early March. Check your information for accuracy, especially if you also received a 1095A. If you were covered all year through work, keep the form for your records. If your situation is more complex, this form helps determine your eligibility for tax credits. It is your proof of employer coverage. Form 8962 is used for the premium tax credit. You only fill out Form 8962 if you received advanced premium tax credits and a 1095A. This form compares your estimated income with your actual income. Enter the numbers from your 1095A, compare your estimated and actual income, and determine if your subsidy was correct. If you receive too much, you will need to pay some back. If you receive too little, you will get more back. Make sure your calculations are accurate. This form can result in a refund or a bill. If you used the marketplace and received a subsidy, you must file this form. Filing this form is required to complete your tax process with the IRS. Let's look at how this process works in real situations so you know what to expect when tax season arrives. Dave is a freelance carpenter who works on different projects throughout the year and manages his own business. Dave bought his health insurance through the marketplace. When he applied, he estimated his yearly income would be $40,000, which qualified him for a $200 monthly subsidy to help pay his premiums. At tax time, Dave realizes he actually made $50,000, more than he expected. This means he qualified for a smaller subsidy than he received. Dave fills out IRS Form 8962 to reconcile the difference. He owes $900 in excess subsidies and pays it back when he files his taxes. Sarah works for a large company and gets her health insurance through her employer. Each year, Sarah receives a 1095-C form, which shows she had employer-sponsored coverage for the entire year. She checks the information for accuracy, files the form with her tax documents, and does not need to take further action. Sarah does not receive a 1095-A or need to file Form 8962. Dave must reconcile the subsidies he received with what he was actually eligible for. For Sarah, the form is proof she had coverage. Your situation, whether you're self-employed, have employer coverage, or use the marketplace, determines which forms you'll get and what you need to do at tax time. Know which forms apply to you and watch for them in the mail or online. If you used the marketplace, expect more paperwork and double-check your income estimates. If you had employer or government coverage, the process is usually simpler, but always review your forms for errors or missing information. If you find a mistake or have questions, contact your insurer or the IRS or get help from a tax professional. With preparation and attention to detail, you can handle your health insurance tax forms. When these forms arrive in your mailbox, address them promptly. They are important for your taxes, and handling them right away helps you avoid future issues. Open the envelope as soon as possible and check which form you received. 1095-A, 1095-B, or 1095-C. Each form has a specific purpose, so it's important to identify which one you have. Review your name, social security number, and the months you had health coverage. Confirm that all details match your records and nothing is incorrect. If you find any errors, such as a misspelled name, incorrect social security number, or wrong coverage months, contact the sender immediately. Fixing mistakes now prevents problems later. For 1095-B or 1095-C, if the information is correct and you had coverage all year, you do not need to send the form to the IRS. Keep it with your tax records for reference. If you have a 1095-A, use the information on it to complete Form 8962. This form is used to reconcile any premium tax credits you received. Most tax software will guide you through the process, or you can fill out the forms by hand. Enter all information accurately. Do not file your taxes with incorrect or missing information. This can cause delays, IRS letters, or affect your refund. If you are unsure about what to do, contact a tax professional or advisor. They can answer your questions and help you complete your forms correctly. Ignoring these forms can result in missed credits, penalties, or delays in processing your return. With the 1095-A, not taking action can cause issues with your taxes. Make sure to address it. Take time to review everything carefully and check off each step as you go. Careful review now prevents problems later. This task may not be enjoyable, but it is necessary for managing your finances and avoiding tax issues. Keep all your forms together in a safe place and double-check everything before you file. Good organization helps at tax time. If you need help, ask for it. Taking these steps now leads to fewer problems and more confidence when tax season arrives. I hope the information was helpful. Feel free to visit our website at www.coverage.thatfitsyou.com. As independent agents contracted with many carriers, we welcome the opportunity to assist you in making a decision for a plan that fits you best. Please give a like if you enjoyed the information and subscribe for future insurance updates. Hope to hear from you soon.